Okay, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and start. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What if I told you that who you are, how you show up, and how your life has played out thus far is directly connected to your childhood? More specifically, your relationship with your parents. Today, I will inform you how a child's relationship with their parents can greatly impact their ability to properly develop and display leadership qualities as an adult. I can understand how this can be a rather sensitive subject matter. It requires you to sit back and recall your experience, thoughts, feelings, and emotions from your informative years and possibly unearth feelings and memories that may bring you to a realization that you weren't ready to discover. You may wonder, what makes me qualified to speak on such a subject? Well, for starters, I, like everyone before me, has been a child. But truthfully, we all have the ability to pull from our own memory banks and use them as a measuring stick to analyze our own experiences. Also, I'll be pulling from the knowledge which I have obtained through my academic learning and research in courses such as psychology and sociology, where I have the opportunity to explore various subjects that intersect with this very topic. In fact, I learned that the primary agent of socialization is family via the McGraw Hill book for sociology. So, what is socialization? Well, per Webster's dictionary, socialization is the process in which individuals learn to interact through social skills, establish beliefs, and values. More specifically, parents help to shape the core values and beliefs which directly contributes to one's self-esteem. A child's interactions with their parents can shape their understanding of communication, emotional intelligence, and decision making, which are all crucial components of leadership. Let's start with communication. Children tend to reflect back the same model of communication that their parents exhibited. Displaying active listening skills, clarity, and conflict resolution speaks to how the parents communicated with the child, thus allowing the child to mirror back some form of communications in which they've seen. However, if the child is not developing proper interpersonal skills, this can directly impact their ability to interact with their peers. Improper communication can lead to isolation, which goes against one of the principles of leadership. And just as communication styles are observed and mirrored, so are the child's ability to emotionally regulate and display empathy. Oftentimes, it reflects their parents' emotional responses to their needs. Just as communication styles are observed and mirrored, so are the child's ability to emotionally regulate and display empathy. Oftentimes, it reflects their parents' emotional responses to their own needs. And according to the book Wednesday's Child Research into Women's Experience of Neglect and Abuse in Childhood and Adult Depression, it details research into women's experiences of neglect and abuse in childhood. It also talks about how said neglect and childhood abuse affects women's ability to develop healthy relationships with themselves and others. Lastly, a person's ability to make decisions are also affected by their childhood because their parents act as a role model to their children. If a child is not emotionally regulated, it can lead to their inability to make sound decisions. While no two parents are alike, however, there are parent styles that hint towards possible outcomes. Authoritative parent style Authoritative parent style is known for producing children who are independent, have a healthy sense of self confidence, and ultimately display traits associated with leadership qualities. While authoritarian parenting is rather rigid and produces children who are more compliant and lack the confidence to make decisions and lead others. The child will likely struggle with emotional regulation, independence, and creativity. This ultimately prevents the individual from developing the skills and bandwidth to be a leader. Permissive and neglectful parenting style is completely different. It lacks directions or expectations, and ultimately, this leads to a person who struggles with discipline and doesn't help facilitate an opportunity for the child to actively display and sharpen leadership skills. And well, now that you are fully aware of the causes and effects of how a child's relationship with their parents can greatly impact their ability to properly develop and display leadership skills as an adult, I'd like to encourage you to take agency over your life and begin to actively work towards a solution that works for you. Mastering components of effective leadership skills such as communications, decision making skills, and emotional intelligence all hint towards a healthy primary socialization during informative years. In conclusion, while you can't go backwards, you can take action today. It's never too late to develop essential skill sets that can increase your visibility and allow for you to live a life better suited for you, your goals, and aspirations. Thank you. Thank you guys.